Let's talk about a debut album that didn't just shake up hip-hop, it body slammed it, threw into a smoky dojo, and handed it a sword. I'm talking about Enter the Wu, 36 Chambers, a record that turned a group of underground MCs into legends and made raw East Coast grit feel like high art. Released in 1993, Wu-Tang Clan's debut wasn't polished, it wasn't flashy, and that's what was exactly the point. This album sounded like New York felt, grimy, unpredictable, and alive. It brought together 9 unique voices, each with their own style, cadence, and persona, and somehow, through chaos and creativity, made something completely unified and unforgettable. Now, one of the most iconic elements of this album is the way it blends hip-hop and kung fu. RZA, the mastermind behind the boards, laced the album with samples from old-school martial art flicks movies like Shaolin and Wu-Tang and The Mystery of Chess Boxing. These weren't just cool audio samples, they helped build the mythology. They gave the group a sense of honor, discipline, and cinematic flair. You weren't just like listening to rappers, you were stepping into martial arts saga where, each MC was a warrior with its own style and philosophy. The production was raw in the best way. RZA made it sound dusty, grimy, and loop heavy on purpose. Tracks like Bring the Ruckus and Wu-Tang Clan Ain't None to Fuck With hit like they're being delivered straight from the basement cipher in Staten Island. It was unpredictable and full of texture, dirty drums, eerie piano lines, and those kung fu interludes setting the mood like a film score. And then there's the lyrical depths. Wu-Tang wasn't just about bravado. They packed in, 5%er teachings, street wisdom, and surreal imagery. You got Ghostface Killah telling, street tales with surgical detail. Raekwon inventing slangs as he rhymes. You got GZA, dropping knowledge like a philosopher. And of course, Old Dirty Bastard being, completely ODB. Let's not forget about Cream, a song that became an anthem. Cash Rules, Everything Around Me wasn't just catchy, it was real. It summed up the hustle, the desperation, and the hope of an entire generation. And Method Man's chorus, instant classic. What really set Wu-Tang apart though was their vision. RZA wasn't just making beats, he was building an empire. They signed as a group and then, launched solo deals across different labels. It was unheard of. And it worked. You got, albums like Liquid Swords, Taika, and, Only Built for Cuban Links, all trace their roots back to one explosive debut. Now here's the best part. Decades later, 36 Chambers still hits hard. It still inspires. It's been sampled, studied, and celebrated. But it's never been duplicated. And that's because this album captured lightning in a bottle. A perfect storm of raw talent, bold vision, and total authenticity. So yeah, Enter the Wu-Tang wasn't just an album, it was an event. It kicked off a legacy, introduced a new language, a new aesthetic, a new level of artistry to hip-hop, and even now, that W still stands for something real. Wu-Tang is forever, and it all began here. So if you haven't listened to this album, check it out, let me know what you think.